India versus Pakistan is on, and we are going to be watching that match live from Colombo. But before that, all of that drama happened, and Pakistan decided to come back for the tournament. Hello and welcome to NewsX. I'm Kashish Dhawan, and today with me here is Anuj, who is joining us as a sports expert, where we'll be talking about the match preview and the pitch conditions, and also about the predicted 11 for both the teams. Hi, Anuj, welcome.
Hello, Kashish, and thank you, NewsX, for inviting me to the show.
Yeah, Anuj, so tell me a little bit about all of this Pakistan fiasco that was going on.
So that the thing is, this is for the first time that a World Cup is not famous for India-Pakistan rivalry, rather than famous for Pakistan boycotting the India game. And it started with, obviously, we all know, with in December when Bangladesh first told that they will boycott the tournament altogether, and then Pakistan jumped into the cause and followed Bangladesh in boycotting the India match, and it was a total fiasco that was created in the past 10 days. But one thing I would want to admit, कि, in Bangladesh scene, I was not very sure, but in Pakistan scene, I was very sure that Pakistan will definitely take a U-turn because it is very difficult to boycott a game, and especially when it is a game of India versus Pakistan,
Yeah.
where are so many stakeholders are at stake. So it was around 3,000 crores of revenue would have been generated, and the all in all stake that Pakistan would have put in was 350 crores, and obviously ICC would have penalized them. So I knew that Pakistan will take a U-turn because Pakistan had so much to lose for. Kashish.
Yeah, definitely. Pakistan had a lot at stake, and not just Pakistan. Sri Lanka would also have borne a lot of drama out of it. And in all this fiasco, Sri Lanka board also convinced Pakistan to please come and play because it is going to affect their revenue as well. And if at all, so the tournament is happening in two countries, India and Sri Lanka. It is, of course, not going to affect India when the tournament is not happening, or because of BCCI being the richest body, right? So now let's talk about the pitch conditions for the Colombo match.
I was right now, I don't know at what pitch they will be playing it, but there are two grounds in Colombo, and my game will be played on the Premadasa Stadium.
Yeah,
And I have seen the two matches on the Premadasa Stadium. One was of Sri Lanka only, and the other one was of Australia.
yeah.
Kashish, I will like to tell you that both of the matches are won by the team who have batted first. So
Okay.
all in all, I don't know what exactly the pitch will offer, but seeing these two matches, anyone can conclude that batting first is the key on Sunday. India versus Pakistan, batting first is the key, and getting into the fact that India's batting runs very deep till 8, and
Yeah.
having Jasprit Bumrah and Arshdeep. So it will be a good toss to win and bat first, Kashish.
Of course, it would actually look like a good situation if we come out and play first. But see, there are speculations about players like Abhishek Sharma missing out. Even though he has he has come back from hospital, he might actually miss today's match against Namibia. But there have been reports about him missing the Pakistan match altogether as well. So, in that case, how do you think it will affect the team?
First of all, I would like to clarify. Abhishek might miss today match, but his chances of missing the Pakistan match are highly unlikely. Even
Okay.
Tilak Verma, I was in the PC yesterday in the Arun Jaitley Stadium, and Tilak
Yeah.
Verma admitted that Abhishek had a severe stomachache, but he's now cleared off from the hospital, and he's been with the team. So he might miss today. We'll see later in the we might see he will miss today. He might miss the match today, but it is very highly unlikely that he will miss the Pakistan match, because even Pakistanis have always from the last 2 months are talking about Abhishek Sharma. Like 20 years ago, our batsmen used to talk about Shane Warne, that how they get scared of facing Shane Warne. Similarly, I would like to tell you, I'm watching so many Pakistani debates. They have been talking about Abhishek Sharma, and Abhishek Sharma has to play the India versus Pakistan match. Kashish.
So, yeah, of course, he has a great influence on the team because when he starts really big. But when we saw in the USA match, he got out on a golden duck. But there were also reports. Are those reports true that he was actually having those stomach issues going on during that USA match as well? What about that?
No, no, no. Joe, there was no such there was no such thing during the match. It happened after the match only, and he was immediately taken to the hospital. And after two or three scans, he was cleared to be with the team. And he had practice also from the on the day one. Day two, he was not here. So day one, he
Yeah.
had practiced also. So it was not the day. It was not the thing on the match day. It got. I guess it happened after the match. So right now also we are saying that he might miss the Namibia match,
Yeah.
but we are not fully sure. He can play also, but he will definitely play the Pakistan match. Kashish.
Okay. So talking about circling back to the Colombo pitch, what do you think would look like the team strategy actually for this match if at all they go in and they win the toss? Because winning the toss is something very difficult, which has been very difficult for Team India, and it has been a funny incident all over again and again.
I guess there is no brainer. I have been watching cricket from the last 25 years, and
Yeah.
personally like how Australia follows their ruthless strategy of winning the toss and batting first.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've seen that completely ignore the pitch. They completely ignore what pitch can offer. They always win the toss and bat first because we all know chasing can be difficult in limited overs cricket. We all know that. So and anyhow, we have to bat first. But looking at the pitch also, Pakistan is also using the spinners at a very long run. We should also take spinners. We should also play more spinners because anyhow we have Ashdeep Singh and Jasprit Bumrah as our premier fast bowlers. And since we are playing in Asia, similar conditions similar condition as in India, we should play spinners more and but bat first.
Okay, so
Ashish.
yeah, of course, your verdict would be to India to actually win the toss and go for batting first.
And
But
there is one scenario in my mind also because
mm,
I feel if India bat first and
mhm,
Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Tilak Verma, Surya Kumar Yadav, Shivam Dube, Hardik Pandya all plays their best game.
yeah,
India might score 240 to 30. And if India scores 230 and 240, Pakistan cannot even chase that in 50 overs. Leave about 20 overs.
okay. No, that is again a thing that every Indian cricket fan or every Indian sports expert would say. So coming back to how India was playing against USA, see, they were actually struggling. We saw Wankade. It is actually known for being the bowler's pitch. It is not known for being the batter's pitch. But did you see some flaws in Team India when it came when it was the first match? What were the flaws that you saw?
I've been watching the New Zealand series also, and let me tell you, I was quite impressed with India,
Mm-hmm.
like how they batted against New Zealand because we have been always been struggling with New Zealand in T20s.
Yeah.
So it was very good to see that India was finally getting breaking the shackles and winning against New Zealand. So USA match was something very surprising for me that India was struggling with against USA. Not
Yeah.
because not because it was Wankhede or it was a T20 World Cup, but because it was an associate nation. So it was quite surprising because USA doesn't have that game time also. They don't
Exactly.
have that.
And there were people all over the internet criticizing Team India that they are getting played out by a nation who is not even a full time, that is not even a full time nation.
So I feel it was a blessing in disguise that India has got a warning sign before the
Yeah.
Namibia and Pakistan match that you cannot take lightly. You cannot take any team lightly. Leave about the associate nation. You cannot take any team lightly. So anyhow, I think it was a warning sign of India, and even the India's assistant coach Rian Tendoskate day before yesterday admitted it that India was fully aware of the conditions and they were not taking it lightly. But anyhow, we saw that they were struggling against the USA
It did
bowlers.
not, it actually seemed like they were taking Team USA like very casually, and it was clearly visible in their batting. If it wasn't for Surya Kumar Yadav, it wasn't for the captain, Team India would have struggled real bad because of the fall of wickets. It was completely back to back fall of wickets. It actually seemed like the USA bowlers had full control over the game.
It would. I personally believe it would not have been difficult for India if Surya Kumar Yadav would have got out. I feel India would have lost the match. Leo,
Exactly. It actually seemed like that if Surya wouldn't have performed that much, India would have lost the match completely because see there was a point where it seemed like it was a chaseable target even for USA also. And see, we have seen USA perform against Pakistan in the match day before, and it does not seem like the team is coming unprepared. They are coming fully prepared as well.
exactly, they have been able to score 140, 150s. So anyhow,
Yeah.
they are prepared. And if they restrict any team to 130, they can easily chase the target. They are an associate nation, but they are not getting all out on 98 or 84 like how we used to see when T20 started in 2007, 2009.
Exactly.
Kashish.
Yeah. So now, actually, let's talk about. I want to take your attention to Team USA also in between. See, let's actually analyze how their performance was against Pakistan, and then come back to how Pakistan would be looking like for this match against India.
Uh, Pakistan, actually, I have noted down something.
Mm-hmm.
This Sahib Zada Farhan is actually in a very good form,
Yeah.
and he has been a go-to batter for them. Pakistan would have lost the match against Netherlands if they would have the Netherlands player had taken the catch in the penultimate over.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Pakistan was losing it. But Pakistan made sure that they didn't feel any hiccup in the USA match, and they went all guns blazing on USA, and USA was not even on uh, on top of Pakistan, neither in their bowling department nor in their batting department. And if I see that Pakistan players batters, especially if I talk about Shadab Khan, also scored well. And speaking about the bowlers, Pakistan especially, I have been watching both the two matches. Pakistan
Yeah.
have not one bowler has dominated them. Every bowler is contributing for Pakistan. Every bowler is taking two, three wickets. Not one bowler is taking 5 wickets, or any one bowler is taking 1 wicket. So that is a positive sign for Pakistan, especially when they are coming on a back of whitewashing Australia.
So,
Kashish.
you are talking about all the Pakistani bowlers actually coming in and playing for the team. How do you think this is going to pose a threat against Team India? And what exactly should be the strategy of a top order and a middle order to stay on the pitch and not lose those crucial wickets?
So if there is a collapse,
Hmm.
definitely runs will slow down. You have to build a partnership. But
Yeah,
my gut feeling is that India would should go all guns blazing. How they are playing from the last 1 year, the T20 games, how they are playing is it's even I am surprised because India used to play very slowly like this, but now they're actually playing a T20 game like how a T20 game should be played, which is
exactly.
maximizing your best batters to play
Hmm.
the maximum balls.
Exactly.
So
It
India
it
should.
yeah, it does seem like all of them are playing at their full capacity. But yeah, it did not seem like that in the first match. Now they will be playing against Namibia, and we'll see how the batters are in and what shape are they in before the India Pakistan match. And so, asking one more question. Now, you talked about Jahangir. Sorry, not Jahangir. You talked about Farhan, right? So, talking about his performance, how do you analyze his performance going ahead in this match?
I guess he's in a red hot form because he was a player of the match also yesterday. So he will be the key batter for Pakistan. Like for Fakhar Zaman was at a
Hmm.
time for Pakistan. Like in
Yeah.
2017 Champions Trophy, if you say, Fakhar Zaman was a go-to batter for Pakistan, and he
Mm-hmm.
proved it with his performances. So I feel similarly, Sahibzada Farhan is doing that for Pakistan. In two matches, he has scored the maximum runs for Pakistan in both the matches, and in the last match, he has been the player of the match also. So
Yeah.
anyhow, Sahibzada Farhan is getting the start which Pakistan need because we see how Pakistan batsmen struggle to get go. And even Babar Azam has also scored some runs in against USA. Although it is against USA, but anyhow he has got some runs, so it will also give him the much needed confidence. Kashish.
So yeah, you of course Pakistan when it comes with batsmen like Farhan and Babar Azam who are bringing in runs and experience to the team. What do you think Team India should be preparing for in this match? Because Team India has had this. I would say it, but Team India has this thing in them that they actually take Pakistan lightly sometimes, and it backfires really bad.
It backfires also. It makes me sad also because I had witnessed that 2021 T20 World Cup in front of me, and I was actually dumbstruck to know that finally India was losing for the first time against Pakistan, and it was very sad to know. So anyhow, if that is the case that India takes it lightly, they shouldn't, because the stats actually goes other ways. India is leading in T20s and in T20 World Cups also.
Mm-hmm.
So my feeling would be to go all guns blazing on Pakistan in the bowling department also. If you think that the pitch is turning, get the spinners in the power play only. Pakistan batters aren't that skillful if you consider as same as the Indian batters. So they might lose because if we might see Pakistan crumbling down for 60 or 70 also.
Mm-hmm.
Kashish.
So yeah, let's actually talk about the score, the possible score that can be made on that Colombo pitch for both the teams, and what could look like a chaseable target if India goes to bat second.
If India goes to bat second, I guess 160, 170 will be looks like a chaseable target, because I can undermine the batting of Pakistan, but I cannot undermine the bowling of Pakistan. Pakistan has been bowling well, and they have been producing very well bowlers, very good bowlers over the past quite years. And we have seen how Shaheen Afridi used to trouble Indian batters. Although we have now more left-hand batters than right-hand batters in our opening slot, so that is a different issue. But if India has to chase, they have to restrict Pakistan to 150 or 160, because if the pitch is slow, then
Yeah.
170 and 180 target would actually be a 240 target compared to when a pitch is a batting friendly pitch. Kashish.
And talking about India, if they go in to play first, what do you think would be the target placed for Pakistan?
I guess they should look to score 200, because there is a catch in T20 game.
Okay.
Sometimes what happens is when we see our team batting first,
Mm-hmm.
180 also seems to be a good score.
Yeah.
But when the second team chases it,
Mm.
we think like okay, 180 was low. I mean, they easily chase that target. So
Exactly.
sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens that the team batting one doesn't even know that what is a power score. So India should look to score maximum, and that will come from the power play. If they utilize the power play to the maximum, I mean scoring at least 70, 65 runs in 6 overs. Because anyhow, you score 50 runs in power IPL also. Kashish.
Yeah, power play was a really bad situation. If I talk about Team India in the last match, it was a very horrible situation for them. But again, that is something to be questioned. Now, before we actually wrap up this video, can you actually share with our viewers what do you think would be your predicted 11 for both the teams?
So for Pakistan, I don't think they will change their team, because they are on a winning streak. So
Yeah.
they will most probably play their same playing 11. But for India, there is
Mm-hmm.
a catch. If Abhishek doesn't play the Namibia match, and if Sanju Samson comes in,
Yeah.
because I was in yesterday, I was in the Arun Jaitley Stadium, and I saw Sanju Samson practicing it in the nets also. And and if Samson goes on to score a century, then it will be a good
This
headache.
is this I Anuj, I don't know. So we have been seeing Sanju's performance. I don't want to criticize him or anything, but his performance has really been questionable over the time. And again, the team management still has some belief in him. That is why he is still a part of the squad. So
I saw Coach Gautam Gambhir talking to Sanju Samsung in the nets yesterday. So
mhm.
there have been a long conversation between the two guys, and I would like to say that if Abhishek is not playing, then Sanju Samson will play. Washington Sundar might have a chance, but most probably Sanju Samson will play. And if I was saying that if Sanju Samson scores good today, it will be difficult for Team India to drop him in the Pakistan match if Abhishek Sharma is fit. So that is a good headache for India. But if we
Okay,
consider
so now that's where our interesting question comes for the viewers also. You have to choose between Abhishek Sharma and Sanju Samson. Abhishek Sharma, who has been very consistent with his performance, who has given you big scores on the board, and then there is Sanju Samson who comes in and performs okay in the Namibia match. Let's say you will give him chance over Abhishek Sharma.
uh, if I,
Yeah,
if
if that
if
happens.
if that happens, then it's actually a good headache for the team management, because it will be very difficult for them to drop Sanju if he plays well in the Namibia match. Because anyhow, we are banking upon Abhishek Sharma only, and
Yeah.
if he's fit to play, everyone will want that Abhishek should play. And also you cannot drop Ishan Kishan, because day before yesterday, Ishan Kishan had a full net session for 3 hours, and he had smashed 3 sixes, deep square leg, deep mid wicket, and in long on. So he's also in a good form. Tilak Verma is also there. Suryakumar Yadav is also there. Shivam Dubey is there. Hardik Pandya is there. Rinku Singh is there. So I've actually named India's batting lineup. And then I would like to say then Varun Chakravarti,
Yeah.
Akshar Patel comes in, Varun Chakravarti, Jasprit Bumrah, and Arshdeep. So this would be my playing
So they are
11. This
not
would be
going to be
best.
playing Siraj again. That is Siraj in that match. What do you think?
If Bumrah is coming, I don't think Siraj will play,
Okay.
because we also that we need to play two spinners also.
Mm-hmm.
And we know we have been I have been personally tracking Varun Chakravarti's journey, and he's actually difficult to play in T20s.
Yeah,
It
that
seems
is.
he's actually difficult to play. Reminds me of the 2009-2010 version of Mendes and Muralidharan. And Indian batsmen were used to think that they need to dodge the 20 overs and bat 30 overs. So I feel Varun Chakravarti posed a similar threat to other teams. Kashish.
Yeah, I get your point. So it might happen that Siraj might get dropped from the team for the India-Pakistan match. So we'll see what exactly happens, what unfolds in the India-Pakistan match, and we'll bring you all the latest updates from the match. All you have to do is keep watching NewsX. Thank you so much.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.